What's up, y'all? It's your girl Keely, aka Kiwi. Welcome back to my channel. For those returning, you're so awesome. If you're new here, please hit that like and subscribe button. It's much appreciated. I appreciate all of you guys for being here watching me. This is gonna be a little further down our rabbit hole of our SB19 solo songs that we're gonna do. This one is specifically for obviously ATIN, but also Tabitha. Shout out Tabitha, she's a real one. I'm gonna put her little comment here. She super thanks me. You do not have to do that, and I super appreciate it. So that's why I kind of just was like, I have to react to this for Tabitha. She didn't specify what song to do for Philippe Criminal. She said she wanted to do Criminal, but we have already watched one of them over on the Street Champs Live on Mondays. I believe we watched the studio sessions one because I remember the black and white. So I was kind of torn in between doing different ones. At first I was like maybe going to do Rappler. But then some people in the comments kind of sent me here saying, oh, he's grown so much. And he on the Billboard performances. So I was like, that's not a bad idea since I've heard the Criminal, the studio sessions version. I was like, maybe it's nice to hear one a little more recent. I think it was like a year ago. So I thought, let's give this a whirl. I wanted to do all the songs, but I kind of was like, I'd rather hear the other two songs that are included in this beforehand, just because the title of this is Philippe's Iconic Songs Reimagined. So this is kind of like, I can't reimagine it if I had never imagined it in the first place. So I decided I'm just gonna do Criminal, but don't worry, there's plenty of SB19 lore that y'all have been giving me, so there's gonna be plenty coming up. But yeah, I hope everyone's weeks are going amazing. You know, I always come on here and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm still trying to balance everything. I'm so sorry. And that is still the same situation. There's no way, honestly, to really balance it without just like quitting my job, unfortunately, and living on my own as a 27-year-old woman. That's not manageable. All right. So shout out Tabitha for this one. This is for her and ATIN. This is Philippe Criminal on the Billboard Philippines Studios. So I'm excited to hear this. Let's get straight into it.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Listen. I'm coming up again, take it off at tonight. I don't want a mindset, I just wanna forget, need an antidote, yeah. I'm coming up again, take it off at tonight. I don't want a mindset, really hate to break it, ain't this click tonight, yeah. The liquor drunk is so high, blue spinning alright. Poison in my blood stuck on my
eye contact. Hello.
You say, how boy you let me take it. Running in my mind, just stop it. Why can I have you? Was it confused every single time? Trying to make him sing, yeah, yeah. Trying to save myself, yeah, yeah. I'm so addicted, hot on. You're 7 for a rim, I'm a Soviet, yeah. I swear to God, do this to me. If you want me, don't provoke me. How about you just give it to me? I think I got it. I just want to take you off my mind. Take it time. I just want to take you off my mind. Take it time. You know we can take it, yeah. You know what.
All right, first pause there. I won't pause too much after this, but I just have to. I remember this song because it's like, you know, we were loving Philippe in the moment for his deep voice, and then someone in the chat was like, oh, I'm gonna hit you with Criminal. And I remember watching him being like, that's coming from Philippe. That voice, that deep voice that we normally hear is also hitting these insane notes. Like this R&B feel, I love this. It's so hard because I've heard a decent amount of his solo stuff now, and I said I kind of like hit. I feel like I'm biased. I mean, not biased. I mean, kind of biased. But I feel like what I'm trying to state is I feel like what I'm about to say is still true. On my other one, I said like I like his like rockstar R&B vibe. This is still kind of that similar feel. I feel like this one's a little more R&B than rock. But you can definitely hear the guitar and stuff in the background. Whereas, you know, what did I watch? Fake Faces, that was definitely a lot more rock involved. But I kind of like I'm still playing around, you know, we're still diving deep into their solos, and I love how SB19 altogether is, you know, all rounders. Is that what they say? All rounders, well rounded, all the talent. But Philippe too, it's just amazing to me, his creativity, and I just want to know his thought process, because it's so awesome, you know, being able to see, like I said, him hearing these deep voices, doing these, you know, like R&B songs, rock songs, and then he'd be doing stuff like this too, that's like some good R&B, like rock indie vibe, but then he's also hitting these insane notes, which is just unbelievable, knowing that, you know, it comes from that voice. You know, those vocal cords, they pop in. The range he has is amazing. And it's really I kind of like watching this too, because it's very focused on him. I remember the studio sessions was the same, but I feel like they had, you know, they had the live band. It was a session, while this is strictly just him kind of vibing. And I like this setting too. I feel like red is just a great color on Philippe. Let me know what his favorite color is. I'm not sure. I don't know if red's taking a gamble, but let me know. But I just think that it's just so amazing, his range, and I just had to take a pause to appreciate the, you know, different notes he'd be hitting. I don't know. I'm not a musician. I don't know how all the terms to know how they go from like alto to like up here, you know, but he hitting it all. He going low, he hitting high. I'm kind of trying to remember what the meaning was. Obviously, this doesn't have the lyrics. They're audio generated, and I was like, I don't want to put myself through that, because audio generated is ridiculous on the lyric translation sometimes, hence the audio generated. But I do remember, I feel like he was playing around with his voices. I can't remember if this had to do with like love, or if this had to do with like himself with the different voices. But we'll keep going, and maybe it'll kind of dawn on me as we keep going into this.
Take you off my mind. Take it time.
You know we can take it, yeah. You know we can take it, no. You know we can take it, yeah. You know we can take it, yeah.
You know we can take it now. I can take it now. I can take it now, yeah. You know we can take it now. I can take it now. I can take it now, yeah. You know I can take it now. I can take it now. I can take it now, yeah. You know I can take it now. I can take it now. I can take it now.
혼자 만내 something I wanna see today. 한나 부르게 발이 today. 아이고 바hul러 달이 today. 아이가 할록 놓고 발이 today. I'm so obsessed with it today. I got answers I wanna say. Uncover that I gotta say.
혼자 만내 something I wanna see today. 한나 부르게 발이 today. 아이고 바hul러 달이 today. 아이가 할록 놓고 발이 today. I'm so obsessed with it today. I got answers I wanna say. Uncover that I gotta say. Yeah. I'm coming up again on me. I just wanna fuck up again. I'm coming up again on me. I'm criminal. Well, I hate you again. I just want to take you off my mind. Take your time. I just want to take you off my mind.
Hey.
Take your time.
Makes it look so easy. Sorry, y'all. I just need it. We were giving Derek shit. Now you give me shit, guys. I need to get premium. Let me know. I got so many subscriptions, though. It's hard. I'm going to have to, like, delete one if I want to get premium. Like, I'm going to have to get rid of my gym, which, honestly, I should have already done it. I should have got rid of my gym subscription, but they already charged me for the annual fee. And at this point, I'm like, well, I don't want to cancel it now. They charged me for the annual fee. The fuck? Like, but anyways, this is just... It's so insane. I keep saying it. His voice changing. I think I remember it has to do, at first, based off the lyrics, you think it has to do with, like, someone else. So maybe correct me if I'm wrong, ATIN. I'm just kind of going on a whim. Just because of, like, the part he says, I want to, something take you off my mind or whatever. It makes it seem like it's a long love song because it's kind of sensual. But if I'm not wrong, it's actually the two different voices is like him and his like inner self, like his like not bad thoughts, kind of his conscious, just kind of like, you know, you have the good angel on one shoulder and you have the bad angel on on the other. So it's just like kind of him playing into that. I feel with him going with the higher voices, you know, where he hitting it on that chorus, and then obviously when he comes back to his like rapping where he's so deep. Yo, I'm sorry, but watching this back, like, give me your Riz, Philippe. Like, granted, I'm not all that in a bag of chips, but the way he be looking at the camera, the way his hands motions, like, he risen us up, I'm risen him up. He's beautiful, his skin's flawless. I don't know if it's just because I'm stuck here in the freaking dry ass like part of Colorado where like I forget what it's called, but it's like at the bottom of the mountains, like after the mountains happen, there's like this dryness, and that's where we're at. So I feel like my face is always like between being way too oily or dry as shit, but looking at him, it's just like, it looks so soft, I want to touch it. But his visuals are so amazing, his voice is so amazing, his talent is just unmatched. I mean, I've only dipped into a little bit of all of SB19 solo stuff, and they all have their own different thing going on with their solo stuff, some expected, some not. And I feel like Philippe just has such creativity when it comes to his stuff. Like you could really, obviously they all mean this shit, but you could tell Philippe like really puts his blood, sweat, and tears in here. Like he just has the entire like map in his mind of how he wants it to look, and he executes it. Whether it turns out that way or not, I don't know, but it looks amazing on our ends. And I mean, like I said, he makes it look easy. You know, he's hitting those high notes, hands in his pockets here, like it's nobody's business. Like it's actually insane. His vocal range, I mean, I've only heard his vocals so many times that I know enough to know, yeah, he could get those high notes, but it still is just so like unbelievable. Like it's still so like, how the hell is that happening? It's so amazing. So definitely let me know more things you want me to see of Philippe. I'm clearly biased towards him, so I kind of love doing his reactions the most, but I definitely want to look into some other stuff. We did check out some of SB19 solos on a past live. But I named to Splice It Down because we be watching, I think we watched some like Pablo. We got a taste of some Josh solo stuff too. I've only seen one of his solo things before that. I think it was Wild Tonight or something. Maybe. I don't know. Now I'm getting confused. But because the one that we just watched was 1999. And that one was like emotional, great song. Got me, you know, had us going through it, you know. And I think we heard Stell's Room too. And so I thought it was pretty awesome that for Stell's Room, Philippe, I mean, all of the team kind of like told him like, you need to do a solo, you're crazy, you know. And Philippe kind of helped him and encouraged him. And also, I just forgot, Justin, the man behind the camera there, went to school for all that shit like you guys told me in the comments. He also helped record and like produce or whatnot, direct, something like that, the Stell Room MV. And I just think that's so amazing. I don't know. I think that's so incredible, but that all of them as a boy band can come together and like feed off each other, give each other's pointers, advice, you know, do a lot for each other. And I think that's so awesome because growing up in America, boy bands weren't like that. I don't know what is the American mentality. Everyone's just like wants it for themselves. I don't freaking know, but I just remember being so sad when One Direction like was like, nah, you know, and it's like they could have, I don't know. It's just, I don't even know all the lore to it. There's so much lore behind the real reason why they broke up than I think we really imagine. But it's just like they, you know, not many boy groups like that I can recall, kind of like that I remember, quote me if I'm wrong, I'm just going off the top of my head here, that just help each other out like that, you know. Like a lot of them just want the limelight for themselves. That's why they branch out and do solo stuff, but obviously they're not like SB19 and behind the scenes with each other like SB19 is. And I love that they're so encouraging and they just have the chemistry mesh together so well. How old, let me know chat, how old were they when they all debuted? I know they debuted some time ago, but I want to know all their ages, you know, because I always like knowing how young they were, you know, to where they are now. Maybe that has to do with it too. You know, that's why I always say about, I know, you know, this is P-pop, but I always say that with K-pop groups, they really start them at a young age, and I feel like you kind of get a bond with those people that you really can't get with anyone else. And just, you know, being trainees up to when you guys debut, you know what I'm saying? So I just think it's so amazing. SB19 has such these talented members, and they all support each other and want to put each other on, and that's just so unreal, especially in today. I feel like we need to do a lot more of that. I feel like it's always like everyone wants it for themselves, and I even have to check myself too sometimes when we're doing reactions and stuff, that I'm like, you know what, no, you know, like, we can put each other on, we can, you know, do similar groups and stuff like that. That's the whole point of this. And so SB19 is literally being an example for us and having us all react to their own different things and put their name out there more than it already is, or I feel like they still deserve way more clout. But A-Team really does such a good job at putting them on spotlight and just, you know, just showing like, yo, these men are talented, do not sleep on them. And here we are, here I am watching, you know, Philippe, and you guys are never wrong. I never said you were wrong, but you guys definitely put us on, and you know talent when you see it. And I just think that's so amazing. I'm so excited to see more of the SB19 stuff that we go down. So let me know in the comments, as usual, guys, what you want me to see. Shout out Tabitha once again. Y'all don't gotta do that. So I wish I could get it set up better to where I have like a Patreon or something, but you know, we're still kind of new. So once we get up there, you know, I will try to set up a Patreon or a better system on how to like request stuff, because right now it's kind of just like me looking at the comments, and like I said, I already have like a list of past things I've seen in other comments that I try to type down, and then I kind of just take a gamble for all of it. But I had to put this one up for my girl Tabitha. I appreciate you and A-Team so much. If you made it this far and you have not already, please like and subscribe. I feel like I also didn't touch too much on the meaning too. From what I remember, it's battling your inner demons. It's like you talking to your other self. I guess I did kind of touch on that, but I don't know. It was kind of confusing me at first, because it does seem like a love song just based off of kind of the sensuality of how it sounds. And some of the lyrics in English I could tell, but if I'm not wrong, I feel like A-Team will always tell me what the meaning is behind this. But I want to say it has to do with the voice changes and how you're just trying to, you know, battle those negative thoughts. That's me right now, you know. It's just was a full moon, I'm a woman, it's that week before type deal, and so I'm just like trying to remind myself to take a breath and not get so irritated right off the bat about silly things, because then Keely later, clarity, when I have my clarity Keely moment, then I'm like, why did I crash out over that? Why was I so mad about that? Why did I have that reaction towards that? And, you know, don't get me wrong, all your feelings and reactions are valid, but I feel, you know, sometimes I'd be overreacting. I'd be like, damn, why did I have to do all that? You know, you doing too much, girl. Calm down. Like, haven't we been through this before? Like, chill out, you know? So I feel like that's kind of Philippe, and that's why the song's named Criminal, is because maybe those negative thoughts get to him and make him feel like a criminal, you know? And that's kind of how I wouldn't necessarily, I guess, you know, I guess I agree with Philippe. I have a very bad guilty conscience. I'm a people pleaser at heart, trying my hardest to break it, but I've just kind of accepted I'm a giver in this world, and I feel like sometimes I get really guilty about things that most people would not feel bad about, but for me, for some weird reason, I will eat myself up about it, and I feel like that similar circumstance in this, I let my inner, you know, I talk down to myself, I'm mean to myself, and then I make myself feel bad and guilty, and then yeah, I feel like a criminal because of the fact that I feel so guilty about this such little thing in reality, you know. And that's just a habit I feel like we're all trying to break, you know. We're all trying to I just lost my train of thought. We're all trying to just focus more on the positive, but still be aware enough of the negative, but not letting the negative consume you entirely. You know, sit on it, think on it, meditate on it, whatever your coping mechanism is on, you know, just getting rid of those bad thoughts, not even getting rid of them, but just, you know, sitting in them for a while and then moving past them and just going back to being that positive, you know, inner self that you need to be, because I feel like we're all just so harsh on ourselves, you know, and that's like what Philippe's trying to say is we're so harsh on ourselves that we feel like criminals. And in reality, we need to do the exact opposite. Don't get me wrong. We still need to be aware of these negative thoughts, but we shouldn't always have to act on them all the time, you know, sit in them. Like I said, meditate with them. And that's something, you know, every day is just a learning, you know, a milestone, stepping stone. You're learning every day on how to just get better at being nicer to yourself, being more confident, loving yourself, and not talking so mean to yourself, you know? Like, I remember seeing this post that was saying, like, sorry, I can't find my words. It said something about, like, if you were talking that mean to yourself to other people, like, yeah, I would also be kind of, I don't know, I'm not going to word it right, but basically it was saying, like, you don't talk to other people like that. You don't talk mean to other people like that. So why are you talking mean to yourself like that? Obviously, if you have that type of mindset and you're being so mean and bringing yourself down, then yeah, you're not obviously going to get the right or the same outcome that you want because of that mindset you have on yourself. You have to treat each other, you know, nicely, treat yourself with patience, be a little nicer to yourself, and I promise you the outcome will be so much better. You know, I feel like that's just even to do with just process of things, you know, just pause, go a little slower, because sometimes when you try to force things, they don't work out all the time. You know, sometimes, yeah, force is needed, but sometimes I be mean to myself, and then I'm like upset because I had these expectations that I forced on myself, and then when they don't execute the way I want them to, then I get upset, and then I'm also in that same mindset of just being mean to myself. So I feel like Philippe once again has such a great message with his music, and just learning, you know, to not let your inner demons win all the time, you know. And I feel like even the red background for a criminal was a great way to kind of play into that. So, you know, back to where I was earlier. Please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. You're so amazing, A-Team, and everyone else that's watching too. I appreciate all you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch me watch this. I'm so close to 8K. Before we know it, we're going to be at 10K. Hopefully, you know, I have something special coming for when that day comes. But right now, we're just vibing and taking the day for what it is. And hope you guys are too. Because remember, do not worry about the things you cannot control. And did I say that right? I think I did. Remember, don't worry about the things you can't control, and I'll see y'all next reaction.